Welcome back to Yeti, episode 109. It's finally happened. I have a Snowball for the very first time through a quick simulation. It's never happened in the series before, and here's why. Our team is criminally underrated. We are not good on paper. So, I quick sim a lot. I do not do every single race. There's a reason why we're way into the deep end. It's 2030. We've been at this for many seasons. If I were doing every single race, every single day, every stage, we would not be anywhere near this point in the playthrough. Using it heavily on things we don't need, for example, those are easy decisions to make. All the Continental Pro races, or any continental races or national championships, non-snowball opportunities, all make sense. Quick simming on World Tour races, well, okay, there's always that chance that you're going to come away with a victory eventually. Well, it's happened, and here's how it happened. Vatsek, who has been ruled out of GC contention at this Tour de France, where we've just claimed our first victory of this Tour de France, and we get to snowball for it. Bonus, right? Well, anyway, Vatsek, stage 1, goes down in a crash, ends up way too far behind and ruled out, loses 9 minutes, completely out of the GC picture, makes it a lot easier to go stage hunting. But with him out of the GC picture, 2 stages that I was planning on doing, the 2-time trials, I was like, what's the purpose? We're not going to win it anyway. Oh, wait. Right. Let's do the math here real quick on how Vatsek has pulled off a 1-second victory at stage 5, the 25-kilometer, essentially totally flat. I mean, there's a few rolling hills, but it's quite flat along the way. How's he done it? Well, first off, Vatsek's already on his fitness peak. He's got a +5 expected race day condition, and it looks like he drew that +5. That's the key, but it's a little more complicated than that. The little bit more complicated is, even with a +5, if I go in and do the race, Vatsek, who has a 79.82. Now, that 82 means absolutely nothing at 25K. So, he's got a 79 time trial. But with a +5, he's going to have a very respectable 83-ish. But Evenepoel's got an 84. Coke's got an 83. Hater's got an 80. Darling's got an 83. Ghana's got an 83. Getting Vatsek up to about an 83, and then controlling myself and going down to the last little ounce of energy right at the end, right? If we time it perfectly, which he would not have been the last rider for us, by the way, because we do have a couple of guys who were in the top 5 a moment ago. Montez is still second. Ponamar drops 2 spots to 7th. Remember, there's pretty healthy gaps. These guys will slip down the order, though. So we would have been able to do that with Vatsek. We would have been able to get the most out of him, and we would have gotten a really good time. Odds are, we're only going to finish in the top 10, though. We would have been somewhere around Pogacar at 18 down. Here's why. When you quick sim in Pro Cycling Manager, difficulty is not taken into account. Rider ratings are, and race day condition is. What's not taken into consideration is the difficulty level. And because we play on extreme, that bonus that they get, the 5% bonus, so on an 80 is 4 points. So for Evenepoel with an 84, it's 5% more than that, like 4.2. So he would have an 88.2 as his base rating. So even if he's on a 0 race day condition, he's got an 88.2 for his time trial rating. So Vatsek, who might have had about an 83 or an 82 with a +5, wonderful stamina, would not have beaten Evenepoel. He would have put in a very good time. He would have put in a very solid time. You can get the 100% maximum out of a time trial, individual especially. Team time trials are complicated, but individual time trials, it's pretty dang easy to get 100% or 98% maximum of what they could have gotten, all within a few seconds, really. But you can't overcome the extra 4 points that these guys get. The quick sim does not add those in. So a +5 race day condition could give you just enough of an edge. We weren't going to win that race. He gets that +5. Like I said, I probably could have squeezed out a top 10, top 15, but you could only do so much even with that +5 when the ratings are behind to begin with in a time trial, where it really, really does come down to ratings. You can push a little harder than the AI, but only a little. And difficulty bonus, you can make that up with good race day condition. You can't make up an attribute deficit in the first place. So I didn't expect to challenge, but the quick sim actually gave us a better opportunity. Let's snowball. We have 6 nations potentially to gain. Remember, in the Tour de France, we are in the top 7 or above, so any of the higher nations. However, I did stipulate last year that we would do it with get all the pop 7s. Once that list is exhausted, then we can take pop 8s. Once we exhaust that list, then we can take pop 9s. So working our way up the ladder. So for the pop 7s, we have 6 nations remaining, and they're all wonderful. 3 7-4s, 3 7-5s, all available to us. They will all be welcome additions that can provide us potentially some really, really good riders in the pool that we won't be able to afford. But they could provide us with many potential young riders because they have such a high pop level and good training level. There could be plenty of young prospects that have high potential, or guys that are halfway there and are still in the affordable range. So who's it gonna be? That might roll all the way to the UK. No, it's not gonna quite get there. It's gonna get to Colombia. Colombia, very nice addition. Some really strong climbers there, which of course, with the absence of Hagland, that's been a weaker area for us this year. It'd be nice to get some good climbers in. Montez being competitive, by the way, was an obvious surprise because he's only got a 69 time trial, but so many members of the team, I think 5 of them are now on Fitness Peaks. He's one of them, so he's got a +5 expected. That's going to give him probably a 74, maybe a 75 time trial rating, and tremendous, stamina boost to go with it. He was only 41 seconds off Vatsek. And the Czech Republic also takes a 2-point boost for that victory by Vatsek. That's only the second win that he's had for us. Both snowballs coming recently. Stage 6 is fixing to be wild. We've got to make sure that we don't drop too far back after that sprint point, but I am preparing. Yeah, we're fine. Okay. We are preparing for things to get a little bit crazy, and even though I got water recently, I want to get water again soon because I think this is not going to be your typical sprint stage, which is why we're here. We are giving this stage a shot because crosswinds. Looking at that mini-map profile, we're not far from them now. It's going to be here in the next about 8 to 10 kilometers. And then it's going to last till just before the finish. It's a long, long stretch. I expect the tempo to be very high. And because we are stacking the deck and so many of these guys are on their fitness peaks early for this tour, this is a wonderful opportunity. They've got huge boosts to their stamina. They've got huge boosts to their flat ratings. We're looking at guys that, like Montez, with his +5, has an 81 flat instead of a 75. He's got an 85 stamina instead of a 75. His flat and stamina are good to begin with for us, but not for the peloton. But with the +6, that's representative towards a lot of the field, and that 85 is better than a lot of the field. We're into it now. First thing, let's be reactionary for a little bit. We don't want to be attacking from 55k out, but a sudden acceleration could absolutely split this field. And I'm kind of tempted to, if nobody steps up early, I want to step up early, see if we can split it, still have most of my team, have a smaller group, and see if somebody will work with us. It looks like we're close. Well, there's already a split. Was that a crash that split that? We're down to 106. It's back together. There's just not much pace right now, but we're only 40 seconds behind the front four, and I think when we're about to catch them, this is one of those perfect opportunities to just... There's a puncture, and that leads to a split? That doesn't seem likely. This has got to be the crosswinds. 97. Yeah, Vatsek's blinking red on an 81. It doesn't look like they're riding that hard, but they are certainly strung out as if we are in a crosswind section. Let's push a little harder. Let's see what happens with this. Okay, Vatsek just doing enough there at 84. Where is that wind? Yeah. Pointed the right way. This is more like, hey, let's contribute a couple guys. Who do we have that we could contribute? Well, let's not be hasty right now. For one thing, we're already seeing some splits, so that's good. That's positive. But also, look at the fatigue. Look at the fatigue that's mounting up already, even with our really good ratings. This is fixing to be wild, and I don't think I'm going to need to do anything crazy to make it happen. Bit by bit, riders are falling out. We're down to 80. We're down to 80, and there's no breakaway anymore. There's some groups regaining contact, and it doesn't feel like the pace is that much, but clearly it is. I mean, Vatsek at 84 was occasionally blinking red. 86, we're holding position. But, you know, think of all the bonuses that we have, and we've been riding like this for, what, 20k? There's a lot of fatigue out here. Down to 75. Down to 49! Alright, let's gel up with Abdullah and Zayet's. Dad's hanging in there a little bit longer. He's got a +5. He's just got a really poor flat rating, but the stamina's looking really good. Yeah, we're down to 47. This is mostly just about holding position. Pace is there, but it's not that bad. Little hill right now, though. This could be a key moment. Nothing special about this little hill. It was only 1.5%. Flatter than you would think, but we're down to 40. Down to 40. Now, we're not blinking red. We're hanging in there. But let's make sure that that continues to be the same. We'll push up to an 88 just in case. 39 left. Main reason to hang on for now is just how thin the group is. You drift back even a little and you're out the back. Like Zayet's. Zayet's is about to get dropped. It's a 1-by-1, but clearly, I mean, Team Aran's been going out the back. 78 mountain guy, 73 flat, 73 stamina though. Just can't hang in there. 34. Abdullah's about to get dropped. And we're going to have to focus on replacing them and covering down. Let's see. We want to ride for Shaw. So Panamar, who sits 7th overall, is going to be in jeopardy. Montez has good acceleration. Almost too good. Don't necessarily want him doing the lead out work. Panamar gel. That's it. Gel. 21k left. Gotta make sure the tempo does not lift, though. Right now it's still thinning, though. We're down to 29. Ineos backing off, though. Björk with an 81 flat 80 stamina. Clearly without bonuses, though. He's done. Harasim's your best lead-out option. That's it. We don't have to care about losing time. Go ahead and protect Harasim. 25 guys. It's a minute and a half behind us. Gotta watch that. If that gap starts to come down, that means we are not pushing on like we should be. And this group needs to be continually under pressure. And the gap's coming down. Gap's coming down. There's suddenly a lift in pace. So let's fix it. Let's fix it. Ponamar has nothing, but Vatsik does. Gap's now holding. 15 chasers are not going to suddenly catch up to us. Ponamar almost getting dropped here. He's just hanging on. I think this will continue to thin the group out a little bit more as we continue on in these crosswinds. But that's it for Vatsik. And what's his pace like for the moment? Ponamar recovering. Even though we've got nothing.
10 kilometers to the finish line.
10K to go. But we did enough to open 25 seconds on those behind us. We will switch to Montez soon enough. Let's get his gel ready. We're going to be out of the crosswinds soon. Ponamar, can you get up to second in line? There we go. And then following Vatsik, it gives the others a little extra protection. 6K. Let's go. On to Ponamar. Vatsik follow. We haven't split anybody else off, but we stopped the group from coming back at us. And then Ponamar's been able to get a little extra. And there we go. We're into 5K. 4.4. So Gels, Harasim, and Shaw can definitely sprint. And you got to figure that most of these guys are looking really weak at this point. Okay, Montez, 99 from here on out. 2.8K. 2K. Montez starting his sprint. Harasim from 1.7. Here come the others. And Shaw. Shaw, come on. You're still following Harasim. He never wanted to get out of his shadow. That was on him. I manually pulled him out from behind Harasim, let go of the button, and he just tucked right back in behind Harasim. That was the AI screwing us there. Shaw had no interest in coming off the wheel. Morgado takes the win, and otherwise that would have been comfortable. Shaw had plenty of red bar left. We put him in the open air, and then he just went right back in behind Harasim. Can't believe he did that. That's ridiculous. Anyway, we get two guys on the podium. I guess makes up for last stage, right? We get gifted a snowball, and this time it melts in our hand. Well, Vatsik and Ponamar lose a minute 15. They get dropped by the group. 23 riders, though, do hang on. A lot of that was some Ineos riders. And in the general, it's going to impact some things, and it definitely has. So Pogacar still leads from Montez. He was not on that podium, but he was in the group. Koij is still third. They're all within a minute, but of course, Pogacar, the obvious heavy favorite. But Ponamar is back up in a fourth place, just inside 4 minutes. Van Aert jumps from outside of the top 10 to fifth. Gregoire loses a good chunk of time. He was only a little over a minute down. He lost a good 3 minutes today. Poole loses a good chunk of time doing the same. It looks like they might have come in together. Sheffield, Madoe, Morgado, Van Bell, Lund Anderson. Those guys all came in with this front group. But Evenepoel loses a bunch of time. Baggioli loses a bunch of time. Alessi, Venter. That's a big shakeup. That is a very big shakeup. Harasim is 8:51 down in 33rd. Abdullah is 9:35 down in 42nd. And Vatsik is so far out of it. Like, it doesn't matter. He's 12 minutes down, so he's not going to suddenly be a contender. Montez and Ponamar aren't going to be realistic contenders either. I mean, we're talking about a 70 mountain and a 70 mountain. It'll be one of those fun while it lasted kind of things, but it's fun while it's lasting. That was stage 6. We're now on stage 7. That self-sabotage feels like a curse. Shaw has never snowballed and was finally in the perfect position to do so. It felt like his AI really wanted to push to the left, but there was a rider on his left. Now, he was a half length ahead of that rider, but it prevented him from making that cut in between. And with the lead out for Harasim, he couldn't go faster forward because Harasim was already out of red bar and had done as much as he could. There was so much space on the right, and Morgado, who was also within that space, you easily could have slotted in, also use the initial draft on Morgado, right? You could have followed Morgado until you caught up to him and then continued on. It was a perfect scenario to go to the right with lots of space out there to not deviate a line and not interfere with anybody else and make the finish and overtake Morgado. Shaw, like, we pull him out and then he just pulls right back in to Harasim and still apparently wanting to go left, but still with a rider there on the left hand side that just wouldn't permit it. Went right back to the spot. That was so dumb. Anyway, this very much more our kind of stage. Punchy, but not your traditional punchy finish, right? It's not the uphill finish line. You finish with a descent. You finish on back-to-back-to-back climbs, one after another. Good opportunity. Now, I was thinking today could be the first day where we see a breakaway victory in this one. But it was like, the gaps are there. But I didn't think this would necessarily come down to it. I figured this would be one of those intense finishes that is a little more down to the traditional, like, regular kind of thing. And right now it's looking like it. The front group, for one, is starting to split up a little bit. 2 riders have been dropped off from the original 9, and it's only 3:40 to them. We've pulled that back from 6 minutes already. Still with 60k to go. It's looking pretty dang likely. And Peloton's actually pushing respectably hard. 153 left in the Peloton, but we rode just hard enough that there was tiny little bits of drift here or there on those first 2 climbs, but nothing that hurt us, and we definitely conserved energy. As we're seeing a split, no. We've seen a big acceleration in the last, 3 kilometers, and I definitely accelerated to hang on, but no, okay. Yeah, well, we didn't see anybody split. Panamar's the furthest one down, just a few bike lengths back. Back in position. Here we go. Into the chaos of the final 3. 3:24 to those front 3 guys, or front 7 guys. It's going to be a little bit to catch them, but with the hills, I think it'll happen pretty quickly. All right, we're going to set 85 for now, and we've got to just watch and make sure that we don't drift much. It's okay to drift a little, but we could start seeing splits. In fact, the groups that had been split off, they're all back together. There's only 2 riders out the back. It's short, it's steep, it's 13.5%. But we're gonna drop down here in just a second. It's a little less steep the second time around here as we continue on with the climb, and now we do that from here, 1.7k the rest of the way. Overall, not that bad of a climb. However, we still won't quite crest the hill after the KLM point, and that's already taken a bit of a toll on the non-climbers. Shaw feeling it. Harasim's doing pretty okay. And what happened? Zayats was supposed to be protecting Harasim. Harasim did drift a bit, especially without protection. And Zayats was right there too, so that was a strange one. But we still have 160 in the Peloton. Now just 6 left at the front and just 2 minutes with 2 climbs to go. Now we will crest. We'll descend pretty quickly. I don't think we're going to be on this descent for very long, so recovery will be minimal for everybody but Harasim and Zayats. Being at the front, they'll be able to sit on a little bit more. Harasim and Zayats are not going to get recovery here. We're going to get up there, but Harasim could still feature for that sprint at the finish. Shaw, he's only got a +2 today. Harasim's only got a +3 today, and Shaw, as allergic as he is, I'd rather ride for Harasim right now. Anyway, Harasim was the one who came closer to winning the stage. He was the one who was second. I'm still mad. Not over it yet. Alright, here we go. This is the hardest of the climbs. Harasim, let's work a little bit harder now, and let's prepare the other guys to also up their tempo and hold. We'll set an 88. Let's make it like a 92 for Harasim. Shaw, gel. Abdullah, gel. And Zayats, it's a little early, but let's go ahead and gel as well. Down to a minute and a half to those guys. The first half of this climb, at least, is not problematic. It's going to be kind of coming down to the final K or two where it's very steep. That's where you're going to do a lot of damage, and it's a short climb after that one. So we are going to want to kind of get in position at the top on this one.
The pack's deficit is being cut back.
All the reason to push Harrison even harder to try to get back up into position. There goes Shaw. Here goes Abdullah. And here comes that first acceleration by a few of the riders trying to go forward. And here's that position I wanted to be in. So let's do this. Harrison's going to follow Zayats and try to get up with everybody else. And then we're going to follow Vatsek because he's definitely our next best sprinter. And then probably Montez. Oh yeah, definitely Montez. And then Panamar. And Haddad to start doing the dirty work. And it's a steep climb coming. He's going to have no red bar, but he's got plenty of yellow bar, and he's a good climber, so he should be able to put in a fairly decent climb for now. And is. I mean, look, Panamar is losing red bar. Following Haddad, as strong of a climber as he is hurting these guys. And we're looking at 140, 136. We're gonna come up on the top. We're gonna get maximum points KOM, but I'm so not worried about that. But provisional, that's leader. This is the first stage with proper points. Okay, didn't know that. Okay, we're seeing little splits also. Just 25 left, and Zayats and Harasim are not gonna happen. Put them on auto. Put these two on auto, and we will focus Haddad almost out of energy. Let's get on to Panamar. We got to keep pushing. There's only 25 guys. There's only 15k. This is not going to hurt Panamar to do this anymore. He's going to at least get us to the base of the next climb. Dad can follow and help us break toe on the next one. Oh, it's back to 103. Panamar, are you bad on... Oh, you're terrible. Terrible descending. Dad, get back in position. Come on up. 10k to go, 2k to the top of this climb. Now we are going to try to split things off once again. Haddad out of position. You gave a little protection to these two. And Panamar's done, so on to Montez. Big acceleration for him. That's X's best chance to win the stage, so... That's what we were riding for. Montez trying to do some damage. I can't believe there's 71 riders still here after it was down to 25.
The riders are entering the last 5 kilometers of the stage.
Panamar and Haddad both got dropped, but Montez leading out for Vatsek. Uchabrooks and Pogacar going for it. And Vatsek. Nope, we're back up there. Good, 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 good. We still have a real shot at this thing. But Montez only has a little bit. We might have to switch off and check somebody else's wheel here. Maybe. Montez. No, we're good. We're good. Vatsek. Final kilometer. Leading out. We got a sprint against Pogacar. Can we hang on to the line? We're going to run out of red bar, but we are going to win! Yes! A proper snowball for this tour. What a day, too. I mean, realistically, we should be having 3 wins from 3. At the Tour de France? What? Officially, it's 2, though. Vatsek holds off Pogacar. The red bar runs out right at the finish line, so that was perfectly timed. Pogacar followed him in there, but could not overtake him, surprisingly. Brennan takes 3rd. Onley 4th. Van Aert 5th. Montez drops to 36. Might have lost a little time, but like I said, GC is not what I'm here for. It's one of those fun while it lasts things, and him being in 2nd is great and all. Panamar being in the top 10 is great and all, but really not important at all. We are here for stages, and we freaking got one. So with that, let's snowball again. We got 5 left in our group of pop 7s. As we already mentioned, they're all excellent additions. Slovenia is going to be the next one. Yes, it is. Slovenia. Great addition. Montez, even though he only finished 36th, does not lose any time. as down to 69th was all on same time. Panama did lose some time today, though. That's it. Well, Pikachu gained 6 seconds for finishing on the podium, but Montez is 53 seconds down. Koi's lost a lot of time today, so he's dropped back a bit, but still third. Panama, the other one in the top 10 to lose time, like Koi, and he drops back down to just 10th place. Again, so not important. Not at all important. Points, Matthew Brennan leads right now. KOM, Haddad's going to wear that jersey tomorrow. Montez, leading over the last climb and following Haddad over the previous climb, picks up 4 points himself. Panama also gets 3 points. Montez is the under 25s jersey wearer. He's got a 6-minute advantage on that, but again, he can't climb. Vinter can. The Schweitner can. When we hit the mountains, that time will flip pretty quickly. And we're second in the team classification right now. Things are going very, very well with, well, 2 exceptions, right? Vatsek crashing on stage 1 and losing a ton of time. And then Shaw and his boneheaded mistake. I would have really liked to have been able to snowball 3 times, but hey, that's okay. We're at the tour. We've already snowballed twice. I'm happy. Things are good. I'm still sick as a dog. I'm feeling a little bit better today. Medication helps. But after like not hitting record and feeling like I could have gotten more out of those first couple of stages in the last episode, and again, I was sitting here today going, I'm feeling a little better, but do I want to risk it? It's the Tour de France. It's the biggest race of the year, and yes, we got plenty of seasons to get things going and continue snowballing and all that. But I didn't want to risk it, so I almost just like scrapped this episode and said, we'll get it for next week. Like we'll get it. It'll happen. But hey, we can sign Tadej Pogačar now. Slovenia is who we just unlocked. That's his home nation, and he, of course, is the reason why this nation even exists. Well, he's not the only reason. There's 2 of them that have made cycling popular in the country, but I think there's not really a competition between those 2. The other one's pretty good too. Was pretty good. Anyway, at least in this series, he's been retired a few years now. He held on pretty long in this series, didn't he? Like, he was still around for a while. Anyway, that's going to do it for this one. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.